It does look like it's going to sell off here.
Order filled.
A little late to that trade there, so we'll do this here. Put some trailing stops up above. For those that are wondering, I've changed the layout here. We've got the 3-chart layout. We got momentum up. We got the levels on the left. And then we've got the dynamic channels on the right.
Stop filled. Order filled.
Ooh, I need to watch the charts.
Stop filled.
Let's close this because this is not helpful. Well, let's see. We've got interesting pattern forming here. We've got the actual key level holding so far.
Order filled.
We'll play the
Order filled. Order
how do
filled.
I turn off that alert? I want to know how to turn off that alert.
Order filled.
And put some trailing stops in. Let's move the mic so it's not in my way. How's everybody doing? Good to see everybody here today. I will enter the trade room. Hey, all, or anybody that's there. Let's share Discord.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. Getting a little aggressive. I'm trading within the first 5 minutes here of the market on a small
Sorry,
account.
man. I need to put in my headset. Wait a minute.
Okay. I need to have control here. That's
Hello?
the problem. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? All right. Let's cancel this. Let's put in some trailing stops. A little volatility here.
Yeah.
I don't like my position as far as where we're at now.
What's your position at?
Well, right now, it looks like we're short on long now in 5 lots and put in trailing stops here. I think our next level is we've got the levels in chart 4 already outlined. Again, if you're on TradingView, you can't see that because TradingView doesn't have tick charts, but we're below the upper control here. Maybe hitting the high, going for the high for the day. We'll see if that's going to play out. There we go. Up $70, 85. I should take some profit on some of this here as it kind of starts moving here.
Yeah, you just broke the weekly open.
Yeah.
Nice.
Order filled.
Taking some profit there as it kind of hits the weekly open, a kind of key area for reaction, so we don't want to get stuck. I'll put my stop losses right around my entry. Let's get on small account trading here today, so keep the positions under probably 6 to 9 lots. Started with 3K. Not sure what we're up to. Probably we're up to about 3,100 maybe so far. Looks like we're going to go test the highs before we go and break down for the day. Question is it going to do a double top? Ooh,
Yeah.
pretty volatile.
Stop filled.
I'm out of my position
It just
completely.
rejected the top again.
Yeah,
So that's not good.
I'll look to go long here again down below. Let's see what we
I'm
can
waiting
see.
for the daily open.
Yeah. Well, we got the mid-range down here. So We'll wait for the mid test. It's probably going to sell off down to there.
Order filled.
I got a level on chart 4 at this 310.
Yep.
Order filled.
I'm also
Actually,
earmarked at 265. So
60. Yeah, me too.
and then we do have another, that level at 310. That breaks, I think it'll go down to at least that 265 level. So I'm in 2 lots. I'll put some trailing stops in the market so I don't get knocked or don't lose profit. There we go.
Nice.
Stop filled. Stop filled.
Market's moving pretty quick, so if you can't trade at this speed, I don't suggest that you actually trade. Let it die down a little bit. Once again, we're in the first 10 minutes of the market, so. Ooh.
Wow.
So it did hold up that level. We'll see if that holds up. Looking for an overshoot of the RDA on chart 2 in 4 lots. Got my trailing stops in. Up about 100 now on this trade. Targeting 266, chart 4. Strong level. I'm going to get knocked out here in volatility, aren't I? It's going to hold that chart 2 level. Chart 4 level is 267 or so. That zone. Oh, there we go. Sweet. I'm going to take some profit.
Order filled.
Just because of how volatile it is, you got to take, if you're going to trade during the high volatility times around the first 10 minutes of the market, you need to take profits quick, unless it's really just clear that it's going to go in one direction. Looks like it is going to go down, though. Looks like it's going to continue down.
Yeah. That level you just mentioned also aligns with the daily open.
Oh, okay, yeah. So if we go to our 3 chart setup, we got the, where's the NYSE open? How come the NYSE? Oh, there it is. Yeah, daily open. We're at the mid control right now. The lower control is 251. And then it's trying to hold momentum. It's bouncing off the mix 200 right now on the 5.
Yeah. Strong
Hey.
reaction.
Morning. How you doing?
Question for you there, Rex. Good, thank you.
Morning.
Were you able to get that indicator public yet? Or is
No.
it still,
It's not going to be till this weekend. I've got to overdo it. So
got it.
I've got it, but I got to start taking pictures and everything else. And I'll get it out here, though, for sure this weekend.
Order filled.
So where are we at in regards to the daily open? Yeah, daily open still target. Yeah, you're right. 275. Call a bluff on this push up over here above the RDA. We'll see, though. This is where you got to be careful on a small account, because you got to really be predictive, as we talked about yesterday on the stream in the trade room. I think in general, there are days when you can chase trades, but in general, you need to get into the habit of being a predictive trader. Because on the days that you can't chase trades, you'll lose massively being a chasing trader. But there are days where you can chase the trades, but those are few and far between in my mind. Ooh.
Also, C3 M9 is holding for now.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably burn my P&L from the last run I just took. Now it could be a double top here on this chart too, but
Yeah,
Order filled.
I'm not gonna give it
C4
much
is looking
room.
good.
Yeah, I'll do some fixed stops. I get taken out here, I'm going to stop aggressively trading and kind of just wait for the market to calm down. I started my scaling a little too early there. Still targeting the daily open, but it looks like it might come up and get another weak level here on chart 4 at 349. Oh, let me share this on
Yep.
Stock filled.
damn it. I like trading on my other machine with 6 monitors better.
Order filled.
There we go. Okay, looks like it might hit the next level down. What do you think? We'll see.
Yeah. Still looking strong.
Yep. Buyers are stepping up again.
But that if we break the weekly open, I think that's a good sign.
To the upside, you mean?
But the weekly open is holding, right?
Yeah.
Just as the M9 on C1.
Yeah, the weekly. I mean, we're below the weekly open though on the MNQ, anyways, and it's messing around with the NYSE open. So I don't know. We're on the bubble here. Whether or not it's going to break down here or actually use that mid control as actually the. Yeah, I still feel like it's going to go down. Otherwise, I'd get out.
I'm sitting on my hands.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait.
I think I'm out. I'm going to be out here in a second because now it momentum shift on chart. Well, let's see. All right. Well, chart 2 went to positive. Playing around with that. Yeah, it's not committing to the sell-off. No news. I mean, the news already happened.
Yeah.
I'm out at break even. It's hard to read whether or not it's going to hold this or not because it's holding momentum on chart 1 and bias.
Okay, just crossed M9 on C1.
Yeah.
Let's see if we close above.
testing the weekly open. I think if it holds the weekly open, it's a pretty fair bet for long the rest of the day.
Okay.
It's testing it right now. So
Yeah.
someone asked a question.
Come on, break it. Let's go. Awesome.
Yeah. So it did test the mid control there, the midpoint of the day.
Order filled.
The question that I'm seeking myself and outside of this is crypto. And I'm wondering where I start dumping my crypto. That's the question that I have in the back of my mind this weekend. I missed the first
I
test
thought
of
you
the.
already had a plan for that.
Well, I did, but I'm
the-
waffling between. What I'm waffling between is, do I risk it here? Do I cash out here as it does the double top on the all-time high test here? Or do I chance it to the weekend to early next week to a pullback that could be 10 to 12%? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Yeah, or do I just do force? Do I just sell in force? Sell a fourth now, sell a fourth when it overextends above the high, and then just do some trailing stop. I can't really do trailing stops in the brokers I'm using.
I think probably taking that last option is the best thing to do, right?
Yeah, I'm
Options.
gonna dump pretty much all my BNB this run.
You got a lot then?
Yeah,
BNB?
I've got quite a bit. I just, not that I don't plan to be around, but if I'm not around, I mean, I do plan to be around, but if I'm not around, I have videos, and I just don't think my family would. If ETH, LTC, and Bitcoin are easy to get rid of, or you don't need a secondary broker, right?
Mhm.
So I'm kind of consolidating all my crypto, or I'm using this run to kind of. I think crypto still has some legs higher, but I'm using this run to really get out of crypto. It just feels weird. It just feels really weird.
Crypto?
No, just me.
Oh.
Where I'm at in my, I mean, everybody knows where I'm at in my life, but I mean, not everybody, but I mean, I'm getting out of the crypto market. Like, I'm not reinvesting, and well, I am to Bitcoin, but I just, usually when I sell, I say, okay, where's the next level? I'm not really looking for that right now. I'm just looking to get into fiat, or what I'm really doing is I'm transferring all my other crypto straight to Bitcoin. And then, so
You want to get out, right?
I don't, but health wise, I just think with traveling I want to do and everything else, I just think that now's the time to do this run. I still think Doge is going to $1 sometime.
Doge,
or
So
Pepe coin or whatever else is going to go to $1. So what do you?
And-
Let's talk about the pricing now. Where are we at? If we look at where we're at in the market, we're above the weekly open. We're testing that could be a double top on that range there, or that level on the 5.
Yeah.
Let's buy another one. I'm positioned for a pullback to the momentum indicators on chart 1 for a continuation on the weekly open. So people were asking where one I got, or not people, I got one question: where's the best place to watch streams? I stream I stream on YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, TradingView, and then but I try to join the group or the trade room quite often throughout the day, even when I'm on treatment on Discord. So, and I did open it up to the public for a while, the trade room, or just the general people. I'll open it up today for tradies and everybody else. But that's really for alphas first. And by the way, I am working on getting this indicator out, so I do apologize. I've got to super overdo the explanation for TradingView to approve it. So we're approaching the high for the day. Is that the high for the week too? Weekly high is right here. By the way, did people with the I released an update to the levels. Does the labels help for you notice I have labels on the chart. Are people finding that helpful to have the labels on the last plot?
very much so. Absolutely.
Yeah. I know the colors, so I don't really need them, but I do find them. It's kind of I do wish you could move them over a little bit more to the right. And I'm working with the developer to how we standardize that. So I think the question now is at this level here, what clues do we have as far as the 4 chart setup? So we have a strong level at 375 that has not been touched yet on chart 4. We're approaching that. I think one of the things I probably need to do is just protect my position here. I'm probably going to get taken out here. Once that's tagged, the question is the reaction going to come back and actually test the weekly open? Or is that going to be the sell-off, if there is a sell-off? I think one of the things we should look for here, everybody's experienced those days where the momentum on one side just doesn't stop. Rides the M9 all day, rides the fast momentum all day. I think you should look for early evidence here of that today might be a day, that type of day. But I would say there's no evidence of that early here, except for that the momentum has been recaptured. There we go, testing that level. The aggressive me would like to short this, but I don't have a signal yet. I'm only in one lot, so I'm writing one lot all the way up. These are invalid, those entries. I should be heavier here. Just one lot. So let's wait and see what the market tells us. Is it going to be a double top there, or is it going to sell off here down to potentially, we do have another key level on chart 4, which is right at 300. So this is still the reaction of that level at 375. Chart 4.
Stop fill.
Stopped out. I'll put re-entries at the RDA on chart 2. And then we'll put some at the extremes here. We don't want to see it. We want, if it spends any time down there, we want to see it immediately answer. So long down below for pullbacks potentially. Otherwise, I'm just sitting on my hands because this isn't a great place to entry right at the, yeah. Would like to stay in for this upward move here. Well, let's see if we can find some clues looking at larger time frames. We're well above the high, creating new weekly highs. At this point in time, to sell would be guessing. Let's wait for some kind of reaction on chart 2 to sell. We're looking for an alpha to at least take out the M9 and then test the slow momentum. So otherwise, I'll do a participation trade here. And then one more here on a pullback to the 24. So I'm reading chart 2 for those that are on TradingView, because TradingView doesn't have tick charts. You can't see that. But we trade in a 4-chart setup, includes tick and time charts. And TradingView doesn't have tick charts. So if you're watching this on TradingView, because TradingView doesn't have tick charts, your chart 2 I'm referring to is chart 2, which is our entry chart.
Order fill.
Maybe one of these days, I mean, they did add TPO, so that's positive. That TradingView finally did add TPO. Maybe they will eventually add tick charts one of these days. It's really easy to do. It'd probably take a weekend to do it. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. Part of me wants a reverse here.
Order fill.
All right, I reversed.
Yeah, we are at the weekly high.
Yeah.
Break through.
Yeah, this is, so I got the early, I mean, we did lose the M9. We are testing the slow momentum. So this is a really early short, really early fade. Got to take profits at the RDA if it gets down to that on chart 2. And then, you know, I really got to be out quick if I'm wrong on trading the level at 839 spot 50. And if this doesn't work, then I'm going to rein myself in and say, okay, stop being an idiot and wait for the true signal. I'm in 3. I got 3 on the books.
Order fill.
2, 2,
Order fill.
4, 6. Got my protective stops in. All right, now we want to see it break, at least come down and test the RDA on chart 2. Don't want to see it hold the momentum here. It's getting pretty volatile there. See that movement when you're watching chart 2? I'm talking to alphas. See how it's just it's very spiky all through that movement. You know, that's when you do see that and it would make sense, you know, it's at an all-time, it's at the weekly high, all-time high. So, you know, that usually signals that there's going to be at least some kind of decisive move here shortly. That type of price action might be decisive to the upside, but we'll see here. All right, hit the RDA, or I want to take profit at the RDA. So if it gets there, got a change in momentum almost happening on chart 2. See that minor switch over there that's happening? It's just about to happen. So, but we're in a changeover state, so I wouldn't read much into it other than, oh, look at that.
Order filled.
No, if it doesn't sell off here, I need to get out. I'm out.
Order filled.
About a 40, 50, $52 loss there. All right. Probably should have trade that pullback, but now I'm going to sit on my hands until I get a distinctive signal on which way to go. The next trade needs to be big. Next trade, we need to make at least $200 here. So what's the 5-minute again? What time is it? Yeah, I made a mistake. I didn't check the clock. Should have checked the clock.
Order filled.
You should always be watching the clock because, you know, we're in that high volatility time right around the first half hour close of the market.
Order filled.
Put in protective stops here. Hitting the RDA for the first time on chart 2 here for a while. We do have you know, our next week level on chart 4 is at on the downside at 347. The upside obviously is real close, right at 391.
Order filled.
The level's holding on chart 4.
Order filled.
I reversed, by the way. Sorry. In some ways, this is a no trade zone unless you're trading with momentum here. So, you know, there's no fade. You haven't got any fade signal. So trade with momentum, kind of be a dumb trader, trade the system, which is what I did there on that pullback. I just went long. I reversed from a short to a long. And we'll see here. Trade the system. Don't fight the system.
Stop filled.
I'm putting my stops pretty close because we are at all-time high. So we could see just a pullback here, but there we go. We got some volatility that showed maybe some kind of action is going to happen here on the downside.
Stop filled.
almost a no trade zone here until you get a signal.
Order filled.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to ding my P&L here, playing around. All right,
Order filled.
let's stop. So the question is this 60 going to expand from here? I'm out. I reversed on my long and then got out. I should have stayed in the long. I'm putting my stops too close. Pretty big expansion above the highs there. I'm waiting for the first test of the M9 and then I'll probably short again. We'll see. We got a pretty good run on the 5-minute there. One of these runs here is going to run out of steam though.
Order filled. Order filled.
First M9 test. There we go. We got a decent alpha candle finally on chart 2. Now let's see if that actually holds or it just has an immediate answer.
Order filled.
For most, this is a no trade zone because the only trade that if you're not trading with momentum on the pullbacks, it's getting getting a little overextended where you are a little concerned on every pullback that it's going to start not. It's going to go to the next reaction level down below. So then you got to think about, okay, scaling in a little bit there. Why do I keep shorting and just being early? Because I'm aggressively trading it. Because I'm being an idiot. I'm trying to catch the actual top. Now we have something to trade against. So now I'm just going to sit on this. The other problem is that I'm watching the charts. I'm usually not doing that. Anybody seen the new Tron movie? Or not? Is it not Tron? Dune movie. It's on my list here, maybe. Let's move these down a little bit more. I don't want to
Order filled.
give it that much more room.
Order filled.
Got out at break even.
Order filled.
Got the RDA test coming possibly on chart 2. I keep forgetting my chart's up here. There we go. Up about $51 here. We'll take
Order filled.
one profit on that. And then trail the rest. See if I get knocked out here. We do have our first RDA test. I don't like where that's at as far as chart one. I mean, really, we have down to 376 for room for the trade on a fade. Knocked out. It's the first RDA test. Now it's, if I'm going to short, it's up here, potentially right here for an overshoot.
Filled.
But then the bulk of the position needs to be up here. So now we have something to trade against. Question though is it going to continue the momentum up? I just don't like how far extended it is from the momentum indicators on chart one. So the momentum trade for me, I'd be leery on. I'd do a participation trade on that maybe.
Order filled. Order filled.
Or out. Well, I'm going to be sitting here until I see a trade. So there's not much to say other than the trade was probably the RDA test on chart two.
Yeah, this is the kind of area that I usually get myself stuck in. Because I'm like, do I go long on those pullbacks, or is this the turnaround point for a bigger pullback?
Yeah, every alpha candle on chart two has been answered right away. So, I think it's going to be one of those slow rollovers possibly. So, I don't like trading in these zones either, just because I like to catch tops, and I should just be trading the system. Should have bought that RDA even on instead I sold it on this level here at 417. So I mean, honestly, if I wasn't streaming, I would be, well, here's what I would do if I wasn't streaming. I'd put a position here and then I'd put a position here. And then I would be doing other stuff. That's what I'd be doing if I wasn't
Sorry,
streaming.
I didn't have enough screens up. Where were those positions again?
Well, they're in there now. They're at 334 and then 412. So
Gotcha.
that's what I'd be doing if I wasn't streaming. And then if either one of those got picked up, then I'd make a decision there. Thereof.
How did you come to the target on the top as far as getting picked up there?
I just looked at kind of the average size of the movements and then just said, okay, this is an area where if it's going to remain long, it's going to extend to, and this would be an area I'd be interested in shorting based on looking at the four charts. I mean, I literally looked at all four charts and said, okay, where's the next area of stall? When you're at these all-time highs, you're kind of guessing, right? You're guessing based on the size of the candles, right? And then the size of the impulse moves. I mean, if you look and see from this level here of 418, it went up to 426. So then I just said, okay, well, 426 to like, I just said, okay, right around this, 434 level. So I just looked and said, okay, you look at every level that's created and then each impulse as it goes up, like what's that size? So that's kind of what I looked at.
Can follow. Makes sense.
Yeah. But if I'm not heavily scalping, meaning I'm not putting a lot of capital at play and looking to like, hey, I'm going to just trade the morning and get out, or trade the morning because this is all the time I have, then this is the type of trading I'm doing. I'm putting positions into the market, letting the positions tell me to pay attention to the chart, and then I'm loading up from there. But
Yep. No, that's very helpful.
that type of trading is boring for streams.
But it's pretty, I mean, it's useful.
Order filled.
Yeah.
It's exciting or boring. It's useful. It's realistic.
Yeah, so I got picked up there at the RDA check there. I don't really like it because of we're so far extended, but so that's why I've got another one down at the extreme. But the momentum has shifted now on chart 2. So that's just something I'm watching. I'm going to put a tight stop on this.
Do the markets behave differently at all-time highs? I mean, it just
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like
Oh, no, it does. Yeah. Beyond a doubt. They're not, it's less reliable as far as just price action, just because of, you've got exuberance of people that are emotionally buying, right? The market's emotionally buying.
and then people waiting to dump it.
Yeah, the smart people are waiting to dump. Like I can always tell when Bitcoin's getting to all-time highs because I get phone calls from people that know I'm in crypto. Like I got phone calls this week from people that I haven't talked to. Hey, what's going on with Bitcoin? I'm like, dumbass, I told you dumbass to buy 7-8 months ago. And now you're calling me about buying now, whatever. I don't say that, but it's just like I can't lead them to water, or what. You can't lead a horse to water and make them drink or whatever. I'm gonna go short here.
Order filled.
So I am watching price action. I think it's gonna break down here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Order filled.
So I'm gonna go a little bit heavy. I think we're gonna get at least an M9 test on chart 1. If not, we're gonna go. We've got the developing opening range there. But also the calls that I get lead me to dump my swing positions. Because when I start getting those calls, I'm like, okay, they're going to start buying. So I just don't understand the mentality, waiting for things to get to all-time highs on the news and then you start buying. But I guess that's the way the world works, I guess. All right, targets. We got a level right now. We got another level on chart 4. I think the RDA chart 4 is a good target, right around 374. What do you guys think? That's good or not?
I'm
3.
watching the M24 on chart 4.
Yeah, that's actually. Yeah, that'll be a first test for a while, so that might be something to watch. And so I'll put profit there.
Sort of the fight on E2 against the RDA and M24.
Yeah.
Was that it? Was that the pullback for the long?
That might be all. I don't know, it's so hard to read there.
Order filled.
That might be all there was.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing I've been getting tricked out at lately. This kind of an area. Like, do I keep going long or overextended on the band? Well, I guess not quite. We're not to the outer band.
Yeah, not yet. you've got this level right here at 422. So 422 is the kind of key level on chart 1 that it's testing. So I'm probably going to call the bluff at that level.
Order filled. Order filled.
I'll call the bluff at 422.
Order filled.
It's a kind of, you know, since Elon's taken over X, I no longer call it Twitter because I'm going to go with the X, but he's making a lot of weird, interesting moves to it. Like they're unveiled articles here today for sharing long form content. It's interesting on where they're trying to take it, you know. All right. So I think it's going to give up the slow momentum on chart 4. And then we've got the RDA right around 876, which is an overshoot of the fast momentum. Well, the question is does it have enough downside? Maybe not. Maybe it's not going to do it. To do a mid-level test. I mean, the opening range hasn't been fully developed. It's got another 7 minutes to develop. I'm in 6 lots. I'm going to put in trailing stops. I'm not going to let the market go against me on this one. So my stops are relatively close. I'm not going to let the market go against me on this trade here. Volatility's picked up a bit. Momentum is shifted on chart 2. It's bias and momentum short. If we look at where we're at in the channel, we've got the upper mid control right around 873. I do want to get this out to everybody. I know everybody's wants it, so I'm just
I'm chomping at the bit.
all right. Now all we need to do is just now all it needs to do is just maintain the momentum. Man, look at that. The buyers are continuing to step up. I'll call a bluff on that again.
Order filled.
Where would I like to be long? I'd like to be long around the RDA right around 351. It's right. I mean, maybe around 342. I'm saying it.
One RDA.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just projecting where if I wanted to be a buyer, where would I want to be? Where would be a prime place to be a buyer on a longer term trade, right?
This is interesting.
Yeah. Market can give me a chance to get out at a minimal loss or break even here. Let's see. Still the same level I mentioned above, which is in play, which is that 422 level. That's still the most important level. Market's telling you that there. Oh, there we go. Maybe we have some action to the downside where it's going to actually move now. Now it's 807, breaks 807, then it's going to probably hit. What is that? Or 407, sorry. There we go. We're getting the right movement there. Man, oh man, oh man. Feels like it's going to break.
Still holding that C5 on, I mean, M5 on C1.
Yeah. I mean, the opening range here is about to develop here in 3 minutes. So, you know,
Order filled.
I got out at break even. I was 8 lots in, a little heavy for a 3K account. Especially when the key level is right around here, right around the 421 level. So this candle, here's 2 minutes left in the 5, comes up, maybe tests the level again. And you maybe have a rollover, pattern potentially on chart 1.
Order filled.
Whew.
Just because of the momentum, the way it's been the last few days. Could that have been the pullback right there to go long?
Could have been. It really could have been. All my work I did pre-market. I did trade a little bit pre-market on this. Oh. Has burned through.
Order filled.
Well, now we're going to have the opening range high developed. That M24 test on chart 4 was really the key trade there. All right, we've got the opening range developed.
Order filled.
So now, if we look at the 5, expansion of momentum and bias. Well, I mean, really, you've got, there should be a level between here and there. Why is that not showing up? Oh, I can't see it.
Order filled.
There we go. Got the RDA test. I'm going to take some profit here. Oh, my coffee got going. Maybe I should get one of those coffee cups that keep it warm.
Yeah, the thermos cups are good.
Yeah. All right. We might see a little bit of a breakdown here based on kind of the price action here. Part of it is we've got the opening range developed. So I'm going to put profit right here. 407. Got a change in momentum. 2, 4, 6. First profit zone is 807 if it hits there. Otherwise, I've got my trailing stops above. And then the next profit zone would be right around that level there. 407, wait. 407, sorry. And then all the way down to 387 is the RDA of chart 4. Oh, look at that. A tick below it. It didn't take me out. That little bastard. It knew I had my position there. There we go.
Order filled.
Took first profit zone. Second profit zone will be this level right here. Right where it's at right now.
Order filled.
And now we're in 4 lots. And now it's the next profit zone is at 386. Trailing stops are within my, right below my entry. We're short. Now we got the fast momentum check here in chart 1. You know, I made a mistake there. So a note to myself, to my journal, which is so close to the opening range being developed. You know, when we're in that last 10 minutes of the opening range being developed, I think the rule needs to be that you wait for the opening range to develop before you take a trade, unless it's really obvious that the direction of the market, and it wasn't obvious there. So, you know, when you're right around that 23 and then you got 7 minutes till the opening range is going to be developed, I think you need to rein in your trading unless you clearly see the direction, because you know this move didn't really start happening until the opening range was fully developed. Waiting for that would have been best. All right, so we got, the question is this going to be a day where just the momentum holds? So I'm going to trade momentum, go against my better judgment. Stupid as that sounds.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
I'm going to reverse real quick here if it's off. But
Stop filled. Order filled.
the only reason why I say against my better judgment is because, okay, well, this is the first test of the short momentum, but you've got the opening range mid. That is a prime target. If we do look at the other charts here, we have also the upper mid control here. So the reason why I said against my better judgment, it just didn't feel like it was going to continue to the upside. So that 375 is below the RDA at chart 4. We do have the RDA on, oh look, let's see here, 342. It's that mid range here. I'd really like to be a buyer below 340. If I were to say where would I like to be a buyer, it's below 340. I'm short in 2 lots. So first, this should be the first profit zone. It's hitting the RDA on chart 4.
Order filled.
So I did take some profit. And then I'm going to put a trailing stop in just above the fast momentum.
Stop filled.
All right, I'm going to probably sell the RDA and the overshoot here on the pullback here. We'll start at the
Order filled.
slow momentum,
Order filled.
put some positions up here. That might be all that is going to happen here though, but we look at levels. That level, the next level to the downside on chart 4, all the way down to 300. You could make a case that the next real level is right there, right around 350.
Order filled.
So look for an overshoot of the RDA. I'm going to go farther than I would expect it to go. Just to now we are fighting with a key level here on chart 3. So it's something that should be to take yourself out of tunnel vision. In 3 lots. I only got picked up for 3. We're going to hit the other RDA check. There we go. Put in trailing stops. These are invalid now, so I will cancel the offers. I might get knocked out here on my trailing stops here. Just for another level check. There we go. Coming back down. We do have it's really that zone between the RDA and M24 on chart 1, which is the buy zone in a way. It might reach for the VWAP.
50% of the opening range.
Yeah, that's in the same zone. It might, and then it also might hit the VWAP. It might be going for a VWAP right around 335. So we have our first reaction there of the slow momentum. See if I get knocked out here of some of my trailing stops. Probably.
Stop filled. Stop filled.
All right. I think you wait for a VWAP test.
Order filled.
Well, we did hit the 50% of the OR right now. So we have to see how that reaction zone plays out. Got to give it at least one bar here on chart 1.
Stop filled. Stop filled.
Yeah. I'd call the bluff on this move up here. So, but I'm going to wait till it gets to 50%, probably right around 4. We'll wait for this level here, right around 400.
Order filled.
That's the reaction of the opening range mid. And we'll see how far that reaction lasts and whether or not it turns around and tests it again. So that's what I'm trading off of here on the short. I'm really just trading off that there's going to be a double test of that, at least in the next candle. So we've got 3 minutes until this candle closes. It's testing the key level at the previous candle, chart 1. The other thing that concerns me as far as going short here is that, well, maybe I need to start thinking long because we did test the mid. Also, if you look at this, the first test in a while, the RDA on chart 4, it's an overshoot, hit the extreme band. So I'm really thinking, well, was that the trade? So I'm not getting overly aggressive short here just because it might hold that and then hold the momentum, at least in up to the afternoon. How do I go to the message here? Now, if this key level holds right around the 401, then that's that 415 that I need to be concerned about on the short side. Oh, there we go. We got a good sell-off there. All right, I'm going to put some trailing stops in the market. And we'll see if these are invalid. Got a level now on chart 4, which is 370. 370 breaks a little bit below 370. That's 370. 370 breaks, then it's going to go to the next level. Got to be patient here just because this is still a reaction to the opening range mid test in the same candle. It's going to close in about a minute here. So if it closes green, there might be follow through to the upside. Depends really where it closes, where the follow through will happen, I think. Well, yeah, is what I'd be looking at. Stopped out. I had my stops close just because, once again, what I explained before about the RDA in chart 4. Now you got the level here. 380. Fuck. I hate being knocked out when it moves. Yeah, it moved. That pisses me off. That actually pisses me off that I was knocked out of that fucking trade.
You and me both.
I should have gave a little bit more room to the stops. Instead, I played it too safe. If I would have just done what I normally do, which is like give it the right amount of room for the stops, I'd be in this trade still. Instead, I'm sitting here watching it fucking unfold. All right, we're going to wait to the lower level here. There we go. We're going to see if we can catch the continuation to the downside to the VWAP test. I think it wants to go for the VWAP. It just looks like it does. So I think that's the level we're going to play off of. Remember, our indicators we use, your one breaks, you look at the next one. You know, our reaction zones. I don't know who's making noise.
CC Lightning.
Yeah, so you need to mute.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. I want to turn off my alerts too, but because I know it's annoying because you have the same alerts. Yeah, so I think the VWAP's in play. Didn't tap it. I always look for overshoots. That's the key. One of the things that, always expect an overshoot. Sometimes it's perfect, right? Our levels, our zones, our reaction areas. Sometimes it's spot on, but I always like to look for overshoots. I always like to expect overshoots. I think when you expect them, you're not surprised. The rest of my position is on chart 2 so I'm in 3, and then we're looking to get picked up maybe on an overshoot of the RDA on chart 2. And then the continuation of the sell-off. It might hold here. And the reason why I'm on the fence about that is because that's right the middle of, if you look at chart 1 and you make a value channel there off the low level and the high level, that is right at the midpoint of that value channel. I shouldn't have to draw it. I mean, you should be able to see it, but I can draw it on the other chart once I figure out what this position's doing. Whew, whew, whew. That might be a test of the VWAP right there.
Order filled. Order filled.
So I added 2 more there on that push up. And we'll see here how much strength the downside has, or it's going to hold the 50. So we're at the 50 test right around 360. I'm going to take some profit here. Let's see. Well, maybe not.
Order filled.
Yeah.
Order filled.
Took some profit on that stall. So we'll see. Is it going to continue down or not? I don't know why it stopped there. Oh, it's a 50% OR. That's why.
Stock filled.
This is why I took profit. Because it's just, I mean, the volatility has picked up.
We do have that momentum cross starting to happen on chart 4.
Yeah. Question is it going to do where I'm looking for the pattern on chart 3.
I see. Yep.
I'm still short bias, so I'm still short. Well, we got the midpoint for the day at 324.
The weekly opened right down there too.
Yeah. So that'd be an overshoot of the VWAP and then a midpoint for the day, weekly open, overshoot. And then the cynical person would, I mean, it depends. The buy side, I'd be seriously looking at the buy side there. hit that level though. What is this level? Oh yeah, that's that level. That 349 level is really
Fill. Stop fill.
trying to hold. It's going down. Possibly. Nope.
Stop fill.
Okay, well, the next test is up here then.
Order fill.
Really didn't even touch the VWAP. I want to see an overshoot of it. But like I was saying, so if we just look, what I was saying before, if we just draw a value channel on the levels, I know it's hard to see, but the midpoint of those levels is right here, right where it's at, right where it's having a fight, which is the RDA. And that's using the levels of just this value channel that developed. Got equal trading here and equal trading up here. You know, that this dynamic value channel is not really, it's not really a value channel. That's one of the reasons why I'm thinking about maybe changing the name of it, because it's not in the way it is the rules of how we look at it is a value channel, but it's not really a value channel, because a true value channel, what you're trying to do is you're looking at the trading and you're trying to build a midpoint of where there's equal trading above and equal trading below. Well, just an indicator that basically just takes the high and low and just tells you the midpoint for the day and then breaks it up into key zones isn't really a value channel in the traditional sense. Well, the opening range mid has held 1, 2, 3 times. So we'll see if it's going to hold here. We have 1 minute till this 5-minute candle closes. That's why my positions are up. I have additional positions up because if this candle closes here, I'm looking for a level test on chart 1 and then calling the bluff that it's going to get above it. That's also an open test for chart 3, right around that 384 level. So that's an open test for this candle and the previous candle as well. So that's a reaction zone we would look towards. No more news for the rest of the day.
Order fill.
So it did exactly what I said. Closed green. Next candle tested the level. Then we have an immediate reaction that we're seeing right now. Let's see if that reaction holds. Expect another test up towards it, though. Protective stops are in the market. I do feel better now about my trading as I've leveled off here in the day. I've got more predictive instead of. So where are we at here? We look around the market. Tesla's down down $1.93 or down 1%. Apple's up 1.3, Meta's up 1.2, Nvidia's up 3%. Damn. Coin is up 7%. Holy shnikes. Need to dump that position. I shared my coin idea. I mean, it was obvious. Okay, I guess I shouldn't say obvious. If you trade the four-day levels on swing trades, you're going to have a monster advantage, especially if you trade the Rex stock trade system. You know, for those that are starting to get it, and you maybe want to break off into maybe a little bit more trading, maybe use, you know, you can trade on Webull, you can trade on and I said I haven't looked into it, but I got an email from Webull that they're actually going to be doing futures trading. So that'll be interesting because you can connect to Webull on TradingView. I'll be interested to see how their trading platform works for futures and their fees and everything else. But I like Webull for straight up equity trades. But you know, if you find yourself kind of trading the way I do, where you put a position and then you kind of enter and then you have time between trades, you know, spending your time maybe looking for some equity swing trades, stock swing trades. You know, there's two ways to do it. You can use a scanner, or you can pick 30 to 50 equities that you like and just watch them. Now the question is, is this the reversal?
Order filled.
I think we might be on the reversal here. I'm going to get out here though, if it doesn't work. 2, 4.
Stock filled.
6.
Stock filled.
All right, I'm out. Till I find the trade I want to do. Let's see. I think we're at an interesting area in the chart right now. Above the weekly open. The weekly open didn't get tagged. I think the question is, does it want to get tagged again, or is that going to be where it's going to be at? And then we've got the level up to 426. And there is no definitive answer yet. Although that pattern on chart 1 does look like a breakdown pattern to the downside. So selling into this wick here on chart 1
Order filled.
is probably the best thing you could do.
Order filled.
If it gets there, it might not get there.
Order filled.
I sold, by the way, once I saw the breakdown happening. Up 150, 170, 180. I think we need to take profit. No, I think it's going to probably keep going here. I think it's going to maybe do the VWAP test. Finally. I think we're going to have an overshoot of the VWAP test. Down to potentially 323, potentially. We'll see, though. We'll make that decision once the reaction happens around the VWAP. A good steward of profit. I should take profit here at this next level check. But that'll be the third level check. Our next level on chart 4 is down here, right at 300. It does look like the weekly open. It's another target. We're hitting the VWAP here shortly. All right, I'm going to take some profit here. We're up about $400, up about $430 on the trade, $450.
Order filled. Order filled.
Took 2 off, and then I'm in 4 more lots. We'll put our trailing stops up above the RDA on chart 2, but we might be burning through a lot of profit there, just giving it so much room. All right, we got an overshoot of the RDA. We don't quite have an answer, or of the VWAP, sorry. We do have a level down here, and then we have the opening range low. So the mid control is right at, there we go. Oh, look at that. It's continuing down. Up about 320 there on the trade, still in. I think we hold out for this level down here on chart 4, at least 301. And then we think about, okay, this level here at 264. I'm going to take profit once it hits this level here. So we're going to put some profit in there. Up about, no. Don't like that I didn't maximize the profit on that trade. It pisses me off. Fuck you. All right, we'll see here. If I get taken out on that RDA test on chart 2, I'll probably sell again. It's a pretty big alpha statement there. So I think you trade off that, or I will trade off that. I'm not giving you any trade advice. Haven't heard anybody for a while. How's everybody doing? Are they trading okay? Is it hard to trade? Right there.
I'm just trying to analyze that breakdown that you saw.
It was all about the kind of the chart 1 level, and then also when it kind of made the move, it was pretty, or it wasn't obvious. Then it was like, okay, it's going for the VWAP, and then it's the weekly open, and then it's, now that it's past the weekly open, now it's the day open, right?
Yeah. In hindsight, I see it. I just didn't see it predictively.
So now we're
So I got a little piece of that. I got a little piece of the trade, but I also I got stung because I thought that perhaps we were going back up because that double test on the 50%.
Yeah. Then we got 267, which is below the daily open. To me, at this point, that's might be where I would change my mind to going long.
What was that number again? Just curious.
Right around 267, 269. I mean, 275 is the daily open, 18,275. But, and then that also aligns with the 267 as the lower mid control. So let's see here. Oh, this might be an opportunity if you see continued downside to sell this push up. I think you want to give it a little bit of a chance to really get above the RDA on chart 2 though, and really get into that previous candle. But then, you know, this is kind of where I'd say it comes down to maybe a little, maybe experience or really, you got to look at the time. So it's 10:06 or 11:06 market time. Is this going to be a 2 candle or a 1 candle run up into the previous candle? So you got an alpha candle that's developed in chart 1. So you got something to trade against. The key level on the alpha candle, is right around that 343. So this is where you don't get too aggressive and you really don't get in too much tunnel vision. And you start, you do feel like there is additional downside. But you need to be open to the fact that in some ways, this is where I do get myself in trouble too, is that I'm right on the direction. I'm completely wrong on the timing. But because of the way I trade and scale in and capital account, I can weather that. But on a small account like I am here, I'm probably up about 3,700 here today. But on a small account, though, I've got to be mindful that I either miss this trade on the downside. I could have played the RDA on chart 2, but I think you're safer when you have an alpha, especially when you got a developing green candle and a level, to say, well, is that going to be a 1 candle move into the alpha or 2 or 3 candle move into the alpha up to the momentum or up to the opening range mid? I think that's where you got to be really careful. Sometimes, though, just taking the RDA, but we'll see here. We've got a level here that's developed in chart 4. And it's a fight between the level that developed in chart 4 and the RDA on chart 2 is the way I look at it. So, and it looks like it's going to lose out. So that might have been all your opportunity to kind of get in on that sell at the key point up to the 25% or the 75% mark of that previous alpha. We're at the opening range low, so we did miss that trade. Now we're at areas where I think I'd consider daily open, probably still a target. Can probably still chase the trade if you wanted to. I wouldn't chase it though. Kind of mad I missed that trade, but I didn't want to get too aggressive on it. You see I have a position down here at 269. That's kind of my first warning point of where I want to start to be a buyer. We also have the RDA down at 241. So that's the other point that I'd be right here. So between 269 and 241 is where I'd want to be a buyer. Overshoot of the opening range, the daily open. You got a level here, right there at 261. I should have sold that down. All right, so now I'm my first long position. It's early though. I don't think I get too stuck to it. There we go. Now is it going to come up to the RDA? It's not a bad long position. Make another $20 or $30 maybe if nope, couldn't stay in it. Didn't take profit either. So you have your first reaction. Now you're looking for maybe a stair step up. I'd give it another. I think you need to look more towards the RDA on chart 3. You've got that level check. Let's buy here. Let's start buying. I think we're going to have a turnaround here, minor turnaround. So let's buy here. Let's not get too aggressive because we're still early in this. So I'll put it down here. RDA check above. We're in a fade now. That's something to keep in mind. No longer in a momentum trade. You're fading the market. Overshoot of the daily open. Got additional positions down here, which is really where the buy zone is probably. But if we can make quick trades here on the reaction to the upside to maybe the RDA would be the first target here. Might not get there. That's the room we have for the trade. Yeah. Let's see. I really don't want to give it that much room.
Order filled. Order filled.
Got the level that's developed here. You got a new level on chart 4 that's right there at shit, I can't read that. 265. Opening range low. Messing around with the daily open. We got a previous VWAP here. I'd be open to basically the daily open holding here. I'll move my profit up for an overshoot of the RDA. And put in trailing stops here. There we go. Oh, come on. A tick away. Look at that. See, the market knows, man. A tick away. Tick away from taking me out. That little bastard. There we go. Got taken out. Made about $30 on that. So then I'm still up. See if we can eke out another. Okay, there we go. I think the long side looks like a good play, but I would not get too aggressive on it because it is a fade. So I missed my entry there. We do have a stair step pattern on chart 2. Once again, we are at a reaction zone of the daily open. So now you're going to fight between the daily open and the weekly open as well as the nicey open. So, but I'm starting to change my bias to long, although it is a fade trade on most charts. Look at that target pretty well. I promise I'll get this indicator out this weekend. So look, upper mid control, went through the mid control and stopped right at the lower mid control right there. This is the low. So almost perfect stop there. Just additional, once again, it's not an end all be all indicator. There's no such thing as an end all be all indicator. It's an additional indicator for additional decisions, as long as it doesn't confuse your trading. So I would sell probably around here, this level up here on chart 4. I'd be a seller up. So right in here. I think I'm going to be a buyer now up until around the 840 range, 8338. Based on the way the charts, the patterns are unfolding.
You said seller on chart 4. I mean, that was an accurate call, but I'm trying to find what level to take me off of. Low?
No, it's the level. It's the level on chart 4 that's at 320, 325. Up above. I'm projecting up above is where I want to be a seller.
Got it.
And then I'm looking to be a buyer kind of. Well, I'm a buyer right now. But I'm looking to buy into this upward possible move here. But I am a little concerned that maybe it wants to tap the RDA on chart 3. But we have a lot of time in this candle. So that's why all my entries are around levels on chart 2. They're right around levels to take advantage of those level check reactions on the pullback. Now we need to do now for me to have further confidence to be a buyer is I want to see a shift in chart 2 of bias and momentum. And then once again, you know, if we go around the charts, chart 1, your bias, your fading the market. Chart 2 is our entry chart. Chart 3, you're going with bias and momentum. So if you're a buyer, you do have a concern that the RDA is going to be tapped. So, but you're looking for maybe the M24 to hold.
Order filled.
And then, hold on, I got to manage this position.
Order filled.
Yeah, I got out instead of wait for the RDA tap.
Is that a 50% of?
Well, now the low
tonight?
now the low for the day is in play, right? I don't think the weekly low is in play, but the low for the day is in play. You do have a midpoint here right around 240, but at this point, I'm just kind of trying to time a bottom, which is not good. So, because we don't have a pattern other than it's short. There's been no answer. There's been no real call to go long yet. The only call would be right around the RDA on chart 3, which would be an overshoot.
Order filled. Order filled.
Oh, for the day, looks like it's going to be taken out.
Order filled.
That low for the day is down at 812. Whew. Maybe not.
Order filled.
RDA check on chart 2. If that holds, then it's probably a long because we got a momentum shift on chart 2 possibly. This level looks like it might hold.
Order filled. Order filled.
I'm long, by the way. Up about 90. So I will take profit probably right around 286 if it gets there.
Stop filled.
Jesus. I'm going to have to take profit quick here.
Order filled. Order filled.
Oh, wait. That's the wrong. Up about 127 on 4 lots. Let's see if I can stay in the volatility here. Whew. Volatility is just knocking me out on these trailing stops. It's hard to talk when I'm in the middle of kind of super scalping because I'm focused on, okay, reversing, putting stops in. But once I've got a position established, like here, 3 lots, trailing stops, long, just the volatility is not
Stock filled.
doing me any favors here.
Stock filled.
Fuck you.
Order filled.
Ooh, do we sell here or do we go long? I think we go long. Yeah. Hit the RDA on chart 3. I think we're,
We just hit the end before.
yeah. I think we're going to have a little respite of the selling, maybe. Maybe one more push down. We'll see.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Buy the bid.
Order filled.
And then
Order filled.
what the hell? All right.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
I'm out.
Order filled.
All right. I'm going to stop playing around. Just wait for an answer. Low for the day. Did hit the RDA, so that was a good target on chart 3.
I wonder if it will overshoot to the yesterday VWAP and
Yeah, that's what I'm looking. That's kind of my target now. That's the next target, and then the low for the day. But I think you got to give it a little room to rip up and
Order filled.
you know, go a little bit higher than you expect, probably up to maybe even the next level, which is 273. Or it might fail here again at the RDA on chart 2.
Order filled. Order filled.
There we go. I only got 2 positions in, and I need to start taking profit quicker.
Order filled.
Still targeting the low for the day, but I don't know where it's going to turn. So I just got out profit. Pretty good sell off. All right, that might be a change there in momentum. Nope.
This is definitely an elephant hourly candle.
Yeah.
I know there's 30 minutes left, but still.
Didn't get picked up. Missed that trade. There we go. All right, we're going to hit the previous VWAP and the week low. Is that the week low? No, that's a previous nicey open.
Order filled.
Previous VWAP is right here.
Order filled.
Hitting the previous VWAP and a previous nicely open right around 185. Might keep going.
Runaway Friday to the downside.
Yeah. But I am long on a fade. Early position. And then we'll do an overshoot of that previous VWAP, using the previous VWAP as a predictive trade area. Looks like it's going to go to the next downside. Yep, next downside zone. Overshot that level. Maybe he's creating a level on chart 4. That's something to be mindful of.
Order filled.
In 4 lots long. Like I said, really early long. Really playing the level of the previous VWAP as a reaction zone.
Yeah, I was looking at that
Stop filled.
previous day
Stop filled.
opening range low,
Yeah.
which is just a little bit lower. Back.
Order filled. Order filled.
It certainly is not showing any reaction, is it?
It is showing a reaction. It's just not committing to the reaction. So it's showing reaction. And I'm trading this like I have a big account. So I need to get out of this.
Order filled.
Fuck, I can't trade a small account in times like this because I just don't have the patience anymore. Or I just need to trade it. You know, I'm trading like I have a big account. Big account, I'd be doing awesome here. Small account, I'm probably down to just a little bit of profit for the day because I'm trading like a big account.
Well, I know for us small account people, it's appreciated and they'll test your patience, but it definitely is useful.
Yeah, but it goes completely against the aggressive style that I've developed. So, it's like
I know, we're torturing you.
this is a no trade zone, really. Or it should be a short. I should be short here and not trying to quickly fade the moves, which I can do in my big account. It's just frustrating. I'm not complaining. I'm just frustrated. Should have stuck with the short. I'm going to do other shit. I don't care.
So then what are we looking at for our next downside level? Are we looking at,
I don't know. I mean, right now, probably it hit the extreme band of the RDA on chart 3. So this is probably the answer right here
Order filled.
based on that move there. That sustained impulse move to the upside. I would say that that's probably a buy move.
Filled.
So this whole impulse move is what did it do? It changed momentum as far as, and also went out and took out the RDA just even minorly. So I think that's something that you pay attention to. Plus it caused it created an alpha candle on chart 4. So you got a level now, you got a new chart 4 level. And then it also created an alpha candle. So I say often you pay attention to the alpha candles. So that's an alpha candle. So that made a statement. So that's a short-term low, I think, for a while. You do want to see that level tested again. I think I'd sell the RDA here on chart 4. Look for it to come up to the RDA on chart 4, or at least the momentum indicator here. And then I'm only in 2 lots because I got frustrated with myself trading this like a large account. Up $100. I need to take profit on this somewhere. But we're waiting for an RDA test on chart 4. These are invalid, so cancel these out.
Order filled.
Took some profit. So where are we at here in the day? Where previous VWAP held. I mean, it did overshoot it quite a bit. And now it's going for the daily open. So I think now your trade decision is pretty simple. Do you think the daily open test is in play? If you think the daily open test is in play, then you're basically trying to find opportunities to go long. Because that's the key level that matters. Try to get your decisions down to one, just what's the most important level that matters right now? Well, right now it's the daily open. That's the level that was lost. The daily open, it hit a previous, this is why the key levels indicator exists. Look, the previous VWAP. Yeah, it overshot it, but the close is what I want to highlight, right? So far, the close is holding, and it did have a reaction there. But I think what the question you have to ask is, okay, based on this reaction of this last candle in primarily chart 4, the sustained impulse and the change in momentum, well, what two levels, what downside level do you hang your hat on, and what upside level do you hang your hat on as far as where the market's going? And you only have one upside level to choose from in my mind, which is the daily open. Of course, you have the levels in between. I'm talking about when I say levels, I mean, these primarily daily opens, previous VWAP, week opens, opening range, those levels. Well, the daily open's the one that's most important. It wants to recapture that, that, or it wants to try. And then the downside, I mean, the other downside levels you can look for is like the weekly low. So you have the weekly low at 844. That's your downside level. You do have another previous you have another daily open and previous VWAP below that at 18042. So those are your next downside levels. So, that's where you want to kind of get your mind aligned with. It's okay. Well, where are the levels here? Where is it trying to get to? It's trying to get to the weekly open or the daily open in my mind. So that's why I am long. That's why I'm found, I look for opportunities to kind of on this pullback to get long. We still have room for that weekly open test because what does that weekly open up to? That's all the way up to the daily open. I'm sorry. The daily open is at 274. And right now we're at 242. So there is room. Whew, look at that pullback though.
Order filled. Stop filled.
It's not gonna give it up easy though.
Order filled.
Pull back to the RDA on chart 2 with an overshoot. Is that level going to hold? There's another level on chart 4 that was developed at 200. So will that level hold?
Well, that was an alpha candle on chart 4.
Yep.
Order filled.
So my upside target that you see there on the chart is the chart 1 M9, which is an RDA overshoot, which if that's going to happen on chart 4, then you need to look at that next level, which is up at 275. Right now I'm in 4 lots. I'm up $100 or so. But volatility is such that could turn in a moment. Doing a test of this level up here. Breaks that level. I think we're going for the M9 on chart 1. What will you say?
Oh, I said RDA on chart 4. I guess it's probably pretty close. It's a little bit there.
Yeah.
Good level.
Well, Banger's done for the day. Made his profit for the day, I see.
Is that?
Banger.
Oh, cool.
That was a while ago, though. I don't think I'm going to get to stay in this trade.
Order filled. Order filled. Stop filled. Stop filled. Order filled.
Got a level,
Order filled.
that level check. So I would put stock on this level check on chart 4 here, right around 200. Just because it's starting to build like this inflection point around it. There we go. Looks like it's going to break the level up to the upside. Go for the RDA on chart 4. This candle still has 18 minutes in the 1 hour. Starting to range a bit here.
Yep.
Order filled.
Still watching that level on chart 4. That's to me the downside level, the immediate downside level that's most important is that chart 4 level at really that 397 or sorry 198 300 level or 200 level.
Yeah, because we're in the middle of this, I'm not doing anything.
I'm long. I'm continuing. Like I said before, I'm playing or I'm trading as the daily open is the ultimate target. So that's I'm looking for opportunities to get long without getting too aggressive. So that's kind of my trade, my conviction point is where I'm at. We do have to get through the M9 on chart 1, obviously, before it even gets to the daily open. The daily open is right around an overshoot of the M9, the RDA, and M24 is in that zone. So, but here you have enough kind of trading around the M20, around the chart 4 and chart 2, where you can kind of start making decisions as far as like if you wanted to get into the trade. I was trading a little early there, but now you have enough kind of levels and stuff that you can start saying, okay, how is this forming out? So for the people that like to kind of do a wait and see and how the market develops, this is kind of where you're starting. You're then looking to position your trades right now in this area right now. It's still very volatile. I mean, it's really it's a play between 822 or 222 2222 and the 200 level. So
Like this behavior
yeah,
makes me nervous.
if I wasn't in the trade, I'd be looking to get in the trade here in this level check on chart 4 down to 200. What were you saying? Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, I need more experience in these ranges to have that kind of conviction,
Yeah.
because this always makes me very nervous.
Order filled.
We have the level
Okay,
check.
great.
Now you want to see this level check hold for the week daily open to be even in play. This level check breaks, then the daily open
Reverse.
narrative is out. That's almost the perfect trade right there, that level check on chart 4 on something like this. Because you know where you're wrong, you know where to enter, and you need to give it a little room to overshoot it, but you don't give it a lot of room. Ooh, it's a big alpha candle there on chart. Yeah, see, this is a prime example.
Order filled.
That's a big move there. Big, massive overshoot of that level.
Order
2, 4. I'm in 7 lots. I thought it was an 8. Nope. Daily open looks out of play. Doesn't look to be in play. Where are we at then? I'm taking profit there. I'm sure I reversed.
Yeah. You did, I did too.
Oh, that's a big alpha candle on chart 3. I mean, the next level on chart 3 is down at 952. I'll put some stops in here. I got to start taking profit.
Order filled.
I'm up about 100, 200.
Order filled. Order filled.
Reversed, just to quickly scalping. Up $80 now on 3 lots.
Taken out.
I was up about 120 and then I reversed, and then now I'm up about 100 on 3 lots now. Just a quick fade up. I want to see.
One of these things, I'll have that skill to be able to go back and forth quickly, or quicker. It's still slow, the uptake.
Yeah, you got to do it quick because you've got to really see it unfold on chart 2 and really see, okay, there's a bottoming behavior or there's a topping behavior, and then, kind of reverse. But it's also, it wasn't, the other thing is, it wasn't out of the blue. There's another level on chart 4. So I just didn't do it out of the blue. I mean, it was a level check on chart 4. So it wasn't like, oh, there's a reverse. No, it's like the thing I didn't mention is that chart 4 has a level at 150, right?
Yep.
So it's a combination of reading the 4 charts and looking at them simultaneously and kind of saying, okay, here's going to be a short-term reaction area. All it is, you're playing reaction area by reaction area by reaction area. I'm long still, 3 lots, up about 130, 140. This looks like this might be a big move up, actually. This might be the actual, okay, we overshot enough. Now let's go for the daily open. This might be that move. This one just feels different.
Well, you've got a higher low, chart 4, a little bit.
Yeah, and it did hold that level check at 150. So, and it created a pretty decent sized green candle for that level check. So
I'm interested to see how it reacts right here based on where it fell through before.
yeah. I think I'll move my stops and I'll look to buy on a pullback to the RDA and momentum checks, because I think we got upside to go. Up about 200. Daily open still within range. If you look at it, it's not, I mean, yeah, there's an overshoot. You do have a key level at 223 based on chart 1. So But if that gets recaptured, then the daily opens in play. It looks like the buyers are seeing fair value, if you want to use that word. I don't really use it, but
Order filled. Order filled.
all right. Whew.
Let's see here.
Yeah, these pullbacks are, it's hard to be a buyer and not sweat through them, I guess. I got picked up for 2 additional lots, and it looked like I was going to be hurting there, but I think that's the pullback to buy. I just went off the levels, so now I'm in 5 lots instead of 3, and I've got trailing stops, possibly.
Go back to count.
Yeah, I'm back to.
Order filled. Order filled.
I got out. I mean, it still might go up, but I'm just going to wait. There we go.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
One more minute in this candle. This candle closes decent, then there's going to be follow through to the upside, I would assume. There we go. Now I think we're going to see follow through possibly to the upside on this candle close. In 5 lots long, up 140. All my stops are below my entry though. Just the volatility is hard to stay in. I'm trying to stick with the trade for the overall move, but getting worn out watching charts, so I'm going to probably call it here in a little bit, a few minutes. Part of it is I'm trading a small account like I would my large account, and it's a little frustrating for me to aggressively trade that. Well, level check, you're getting an opportunity to maybe add on the open check of that candle, but it's really early into this candle, so you're in the first minute, so you got to think about, well, does it want to hold the open of that candle? All right, put in trailing stops now. We should see now that it's recaptured momentum and bias. Don't want to see it lose it again, but it looks like it is.
Jeez.
Order filled. Order filled.
We're going to do 2s and pick me up.
Order filled.
I should reverse here.
Order filled.
I did. Took the hit and reversed.
Yeah.
Order filled. Order filled.
Oh, I'm sized a little too big. I'm on 10 lots. Ooh. For a small account, I should get out of this. Put my stops tight. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Looks like it's going to break up. We'll see. Whatever the outcome of this trade, I'm probably going to call it just because I'm getting just a little worn out of watching the charts and trading.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Is it going to do another level check there? That's what it looks like. Another level check down. We'll see. I'll put my stops in. There we go. Another level check to the downside.
Stop filled. Stop filled.
Knocked out.
Order filled. Order filled.
I'm long.
Order filled.
2, 4,
Order filled.
6, 8. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm just focusing on trading.
Oh, no, it's all good. I got the chart up. I'm sure others are watching the chart. You're doing the real thing. So not putting on a show.
I'm up $400. How did that happen? I know how it happened. I'm just surprised that I actually caught the big winner or the bigger winner today. I'm going to try to hold these for a bit, maybe, just because I think this is the run that's going to actually make it, but I should take some profit here. I'm being a little greedy by waiting for the exact M9 test on chart 1. That's up here. Let's especially given the volatility. All right. Damn it, didn't look at that. That's another, this has like happened 6 times today. It's got like within a tick of my fucking exit.
Stop field.
So they're washing you.
Friggin' dude.
Stop field.
X.
Stop field.
Oh,
Got your algorithm down.
yeah. Well, that was an M9 test on,
Order field.
Very well.
I think the question is, do you believe it or do you, because we're into a new candle now, right? So do you look for a deeper pullback here and play the, it's going to continue up and it's going to create a level on chart 3. I think that's kind of my thinking. So for the person asking on TradingView, what's my main strategy? It's a predictive strategy based on momentum and reaction areas. So we have various reaction areas we look for on the chart, and then we trade around those reaction areas, and then we predict ahead of time what those reaction areas are, their levels, their indicators, and then we trade around those. It's really, it's, you know, when you don't trade against the system, it's, I mean, there's only 2 types of trades in my world, the way I define it. There's a fade and a momentum. Momentum is with the momentum of the market or the chart you're on, which is your control chart. And then fade is when you're fading the market or the control direction of the chart you're on. So when I say control, what I mean by that is if you're taking a trade and the 60-minute chart is your control, well, that chart, so for instance, the 60-minute chart right now is in a momentum long and bias long environment. Overshoot of the RDA, which is a free indicator on TradingView. So if you were going long here, you're going with bias and momentum if that's your control chart. Where if you look at the 5-minute, if your control chart is the 5-minute, the bias and momentum on the 5-minute chart is short. So like, for instance, I'm long right now. So on the 5-minute chart, I'm in a fade trade on the 5-minute chart because I'm going against the bias and momentum of the 5-minute chart and chart 4, because we use tick charts, which TradingView doesn't seem to want to add to their platform for some reason. It'd be really easy for TradingView to add tick charts, but they don't want to. So we use tick charts. So on chart 4, I'm actually fading the market as well because it's in a bias short and a momentum short environment. So, you know, if I'm using chart 3 as my control, where I'm going with momentum of that chart and bias, but the other charts that are in our system, I'm fading. And of course, you have the higher time frames of the day. So did you catch that, or did it make sense? I mean, also you can visit the website rexdogtrading.com. It's still on my to-do list one of these days to go in there and refine it a little bit more, but I've got over 300 videos or whatever it is on YouTube. All right, I'm long. I'm looking for a break of that fast momentum on chart 1. I'm in 6 lots, up about $200. And the other people that you hear in the stream, these are people that are in the trade room. These are alphas. They're members of the trade system. So from time to time, you'll hear them pipe up.
Stop field.
The volatility, I mean, that's, you know, the reactions are just spot on. Another reaction at the M9 on chart 1. Just spot on.
Yep.
But we do see a slight changeover in chart 4. It's changing momentum possibly. And that pattern, so I'm looking at the pattern of what do we see there. I mean, we kind of have a stair step pattern on chart 4.
Yeah.
So
The bottom side, but on the top side, it's still squeezing.
yeah, it's kind of, it is a difficult area to trade. I mean, really, it's, you want to break it down to the micro levels. It's right at 183 spot 50. And then you've got 195 is your key level.
Order filled.
So to me, that those are the two levels that matter. And it looks like it's breaking that level. That's why I reversed. And then our next downside level, yeah. So I reversed just because it looked like it was going to break down. That was a quick decision on my part. I'm taking profit quick. Oh, the question is, once it gets to that low, is it going to be a double tap of the low? We've got levels on chart 4.
It was a quadruple tap.
Yeah, ooh, look at that. I think I'm going to risk a reversal here. Not quite yet. Right here.
Order filled.
I'll risk a reversal. I could be wrong. Probably a dumb thing to do in a small account. Try to time the bottom.
We look at the daily. We've got that level at 18,088 M9 check.
Yeah. So it wasn't a just so people know, I'm not just guessing. I'm using reaction levels and stuff. So, but the volatility on this is just way too much to want to be doing this in a small account.
Order filled.
Yeah. In a larger account, I'd be able to execute this really well.
Order filled.
There we go. Market's giving me an opportunity to break even.
You are looking for.
Yeah. And I'm up $500. Take some profit.
Order filled.
But this does feel like the bottom. Time that reversal pretty good, I think, for a small account.
I'm impressed.
I think I'm going to take more profit.
Order filled.
I'm going to start maximize. So I'm in 6 lots left. Now it's just a matter of will it use the momentum indicators now to just on chart 2 to just continue up.
I hope so.
Yeah. This is where you would expect maybe if it does do another chart 1 fast momentum check that you would expect maybe the break to happen just based on I mean, you got a big alpha in chart 4. You got a pretty decent alpha there from the bottom. And then the next follow through candle did break through. So you now have another key level. Now your next level on chart 4 on the upside is really right around that 195. It might pull back here decently though. I'm gonna move up one of my stops just in case it does a super pullback. All right, I want to see it hold here instead of come back to the open of that candle. Because that looks like a rollover pattern. There we go. That's what you want to see. Yeah, what'd you say?
I said that was the, I guess it was a little deeper than that, the 50% of that previous candle,
Oh yeah.
but it was not, it was a deeper pullback than that.
Yep. So Banger's done for the day. It looks like Banger, you know, I guess he calls it a day. Where is he? He's trading multi accounts, right? Yeah, 300, 400, 400. So I don't know how many accounts he's up. I don't know how to read his P&L. So he's up 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 times 3. So he's up about $3,600 or so for the day. Called it a day. Not a bad way to do it. I'm up about 550 now. It did hit the M9 again and is rejecting on chart 1 as it has done time and time again. Could have been your trade if you wanted to trade the other side if you weren't looking for timing the exact bottom like I was. All right, got knocked out. I'm still up $300 in 4 lots. I think if I do get knocked out of this trade even here, I probably would go long again just based on that kind of that impulse. I mean, we did see the impulse up previously too, and that sold off. So I'd be cautiously optimistic about it. We are below the open of this candle for the 60 for chart 3. So that's something to keep in mind.
Stop fill.
I got stopped out.
Order filled.
Added 2 more, and then I'll put my trailing stops in just because it looked like it was a good pullback area. All right, so I need to get up and stretch, take Rex out, do stuff. Anybody have any questions? I know I've kind of been off. I've kind of been off on this with not sharing as much of the thoughts. What I want to do is these small accounts, but I've been trading the small account more like a large account, which is fine because I can do it, but also it does get me in trouble sometimes. But it's not real representative of I think what I'm trying to say is that if I like you couldn't, I don't expect someone new to the system to trade a small account the way that I've been trading it today, because I'm trading at kind of a higher expert level. And kind of the key of trading a small account is to kind of show how you would trade a small account to build it up to, 3 to 6 to 10, but I've traded an aggressive style today. So I think that what I'm trying to find is what's the right mix. And I'd love for alphas to give me feedback. So I'm open to what's the right mix of how can I provide the best live help, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Like, what's the best use of my time when I show up for streams? What's the best use of your time? Like, that's what I'm really looking for, right? I'm open to doing what you request. I guess I'm unsure of what's the best use of time. I think there's quite a few people that have been here for a while, so you know me, kind of my capabilities, where some of my weaknesses or strengths are. So I'm really open to like you providing me feedback with, this is really probably where it would work best. I'm really open to that type of feedback of like, hey, this is kind of the way to do it more. You know what I mean?
Order filled. Order filled.
All right, I'm long now.
Order filled.
So does that make sense to anybody that wants to respond or listening?
Well, I don't want to be the only one responding, so I'm just going to be hold my thoughts. Let others share theirs.
Yeah. I don't know how many people we have on today. I think we have quite a few. But I know people
It's huge.
are in various modes of not being able to respond at work, or maybe kids in the background, or they're flying their plane, whatever.
I don't know about others, but I think what you're doing, is definitely very helpful for me. Just kind of as you're explaining, and maybe sometimes you need to focus on trading, but explain the rationale and kind of going through and the aspects of the system that you're using to make those trades. I know a lot of times you make the trades fairly quickly, but I think that's actually useful, whether it's for a small account or for a large account. But since you've mentioned it several times, be interesting to hear your perspective in terms of how would you do things differently between a small account versus a large account, and maybe when you do trade a small account, put whatever extra constraints on risk management that you need to put in. You can potentially follow that, but I think understanding the difference, because I don't know for others on here. I think someone had told me over the last couple of days, it doesn't really matter if you trade, 3 MNQs, 3 NQs, or 30 NQs. You should really trade the same way. So it'll be interesting to hear your perspective in terms of what's the difference between a small and large account.
Yeah, so I'll answer that question. So here's the thing. So on a large account, I have $800,000 in an account, right? And I may be putting to play $350,000 of that in any given day. And then I have, another $400,000, $500,000 in case I do something stupid. Now you could argue with me all day long and, oh, that's the right use of capital or whatever else. But, you know, when I used to share my P&L, I mean, I had up over $2.5 million of streamed P&L. So I just stopped doing it every day just because I know people like to see it. I just got sick of it. I got sick of just pulling up my P&L, sharing it, uploading it to the website. So the difference between that is, like, I have a $3,000 account here, and I've done position sizes up to 10, and I've reversed 2 or 3 times sometimes. And even now I'm holding a position in a 7-lot position on a 3,000. Well, I'm probably up to like 4,000 now with my trading on a $4,000 position that I've grown, or $4,000 trade. The biggest difference is that I would choose my positions. I would be trading a lot less, and I would be choosing my positions a lot more. I'd be focused on not hyper scalping like I've been today. I've really been hyper scalping today, and you can do that with a small account, but you got to have a tremendous amount of skill level. Where most people, if you're starting out with a small account, the best way to do it is you wait for the market to develop, and you wait for the indicators to develop to where you have very high conviction that it's going to one of the levels, and that you can rely on the momentum and bias of the market. And I've been doing more of straight up reading chart 2 combination of chart 4 levels today. And it's not a great representation of because when I think of a small account, and this is just the difference, is I think of the skill level that I need to project with a small account. I'm trading at such a different level. And that's why I hesitate doing the small account, because I can't go back. I realize I can't go back. I mean, if I lost everything, I could go back and I'd force myself, right? Because I'd have to, right? But for streaming or this, I find it very difficult, extremely difficult for me to go back to, well, I guess I would liken it to, let's say that let's just use a sports analogy. Let's say I'm an NFL or I'm a pro player, and then you're asking me to go play with a high school kids and then play at their level, like not play at my skill level, right? Like that would be very hard for you to do, right? It'd be very hard for you not to want to dominate and not want to, if you're playing basketball, not to, really want to dunk on every chance you get, and, make a break every chance you get. So that's kind of what I'm realizing with this. What I also realized, so the small account, what I'd be doing drastically differently is I'd be waiting for times like this, where the market's settled down. We've got a developing downside level on chart 4. We've got an alpha candle that's just developed in chart 4. And it now looks like, while it is a fade trade, it looks like the upside has, either I'm making a decision to sell here to go with the momentum of chart 1, or I'm with the fade trade like I am right now. Instead, what have I been doing this whole time while I've been talking? I was aggressively getting long, and now I'm up $600. But that's what I just did here while I was talking, explaining this. I don't expect anybody that just joined my system within 6 months to be able to accomplish. I would expect within 9 months, you're close to kind of getting to this level, especially if you're able to watch charts every single day. But within 6 months, I expect you to be a pretty close master of momentum trading, meaning that you get it. And maybe why you're not executing the trades is psychological. But I expect within 4 to 6 months, you have the fundamentals of the rules, the indicators, how to read the charts, all that down. And then what you're really probably working on is psychological issues on why you're not pulling the trigger on trades. I mean, does the distinction though, like I said, is I'm still trading this small account like a large account. Where right now, if I was trading this a small account, I would be looking here to probably get long, but then I would be probably buying on the pullback here on chart 2. And then I would be looking to buy in no more than 3 to 6 lots, maybe up to 9 if I had heavy confidence. But this is a fade trade, so I wouldn't be going up to 9 lots, and I was up to 8 lots here. Does that explain kind of some of it? And I think that was
I think it's a combination of risk management on small accounts. But you're saying you're trying to mimic the level of someone relatively new to your system. So some of the things that you're doing now probably isn't something that someone's new that could pick up right away. So that's at least that's what I've heard.
Yeah, because I don't do these streams to show off or to really I do it for the alphas, and of course I'm out there streaming, so I'm looking to attract new alphas because I still want to attract new alphas. But I don't do it for attracting new alphas. Otherwise, I would be found flamboyant and be pitching the whole time or trying to sell. I don't think I've even mentioned I have. Well, I think I did mention I have training, but I do it for primarily the alphas, and so to me, I'm looking at it from a perspective of, okay, if I'm going to spend time here and you're going to spend time watching me, like how do I ensure that the time here spent is time of growth, and for the widest percentage of people that are watching or paying attention or watching the streams or watching the recordings. That's what I'm really, I'm trying to get to. Otherwise, it's a waste of time because I could sit here and trade my account and wow people. And I guess I don't know about wow people, but I haven't seen many YouTubers. I watched some streams. I haven't seen many YouTubers that are making $30,000 to $60,000 to $80,000 in a day, out there streaming, consistently. Time day in day out, so I could do that, but to me that doesn't it's not my why for being here. So I think the one thing, I don't know if you were on CC the other day when I kind of just narrated the market. I think there's value in probably me doing that because but then what I also said there is I'm not trading, so it's like I'm kind of teaching you how to read. For me, what I'm doing, just so everybody knows it's in the training, what I feel like I'm doing on these live streams is I feel like everything that's in the pattern library, I'm repeating to you time and time again. Now, I'm not complaining because I realize that repetition is needed. And maybe you have to hear something 100 times before you actually realize what I'm talking about. That's just the curse of being a trainer, and then the curse of trying to help people kind of learn a skill. I assume because I've said it 100 times that maybe this isn't the first time you've heard it. So anyways, did that help a little bit, CC, or does that shed a little bit of light on it? Or
it does, and to kind of give you perspective in terms of what I'm taking out of it is kind of taking your system, right? Whether I'm in the background trading or mentally saying, hey, I should have entered here, but maybe I don't have and seeing you do that and doing that comparison, I think that's really helpful for me, right? Because that's a way to say, hey, I did this, you did this, here's the reasons, and and I could say, okay, this is why I may need to change, or maybe I don't. But at least I have some point of reference in terms of what I'm doing versus what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it makes sense for others here. Like at the end of the day, if you publish a 1-minute chart where your trade entries are, so in addition to trading, so as a reference for us to go back and actually compare and really do, I wouldn't say back testing, but at least evaluate our own trading or our thought processes against what you've done for the day. I think that would be really useful. I'm not sure about what others think about it.
I could do that. I think it would be difficult because sometimes I'm making trades on the art aspect. You know, I'm I've talked about, to me, I want to, I want everybody to get to like at least an 85% system, 15% art, where sometimes you're just making a trade decision just because you've seen it time and time in the market again. And it might be contrary to the system, contrary to the signals, but you're like, nope, it's going here and I know it. That's the art. And then, but to me, that art is developed because you have 85% of the system solid. So I could share that, but I think and I could try it. I think part of the questions is that there'll be trade decisions where it'd be like, well, why? There's one thing I am looking at is I'm looking at some trade journals because there's been I found about 20 different trade journals now. And there might be trade journals that I can share that provide really good graph of trades that there's 3 or 4 that I'm looking at that I can provide even dynamic interfaces to. So I've considered that. I just haven't got the chance to go in there and upload my trades to those systems and test them out. But there's 3 or 4 kind of trade journal systems that would be kind of nice to be able to provide. I think I could provide like a website or like a link to trades, and then you could see the trades. Because the trading view or the trade of 8 trades are not that great. They're because even if you have if you have the connecting lines, but sometimes on days that I trade, I mean you've seen my P&Ls. I'm executing a lot of trades, and it's hard to sometimes for me to go back and say, what was I thinking at that point in time to make that trade, right? We're live.
But I think if you have that,
yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was thinking if you have that plus, let's say you're doing a live session, a video of the live session, then it's really helpful, right?
Yeah.
Because I could hear what you're saying in the live session, look at your trade entries or journals, look at maybe potentially my own trade entry or journals, and to me at least that's a great way for me to learn, because it's kind of just comparing and the questions that I may have, because you're moving so fast sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. In these live sessions, I may not get everything, but if I replay it, look at the journal, it's a way for me to kind of study, I guess.
Yeah, I can try that. I mean, I can see what that would take. Or at least at a minimum, just do the trade of 8 ones. But right now, for me, it's all about it's a daily open test. And that's so, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of an almost impossible question because I have to also weigh with what I'm willing to do consistently. That's the other thing. Like what I'm really trying to figure out is like, what's the best way for me to, when I'm spending live time, how does this need to be structured so that it maximizes people growth? I guess that's the question I'm really looking at. And no one has to answer right now, but I just feel like I am making trade decisions quick, but a lot of times my trade, like right now, I'm thinking about still going long because the daily open's still in play. It is a fade trade, but then I do see on chart 4 that the RDA has failed multiple times. So I'm thinking about the level down below, but and
the VWAP.
And the previous day VWAP, which is why I looked at the other chart. Plus now with this indicator here that we'll be releasing this weekend, hopefully TradingView will release it. We're below the lower control. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just it's hard for me to trade in my aggressive style and to really share. Oh, I reversed there because suddenly, usually that there's 2 or 3 times a day that happens. The rest of the time, I'm trying to be with the direction of the market or the fate of the market, right? So I think that there's like 2 or 3 times today this morning where we were in the middle of ranges and I was kind of reversing here and there to try to catch. But ultimately, if you look back in the chart today, it'll be another time where if you look back, it'll be kind of obvious that once it lost, especially on this alpha candle here, that the short was the answer. Once this alpha candle developed at 11 a.m. market time, that, okay, it's short from here on out. That is represented pretty well in chart 4, and that's represented it pretty well. I mean, really, it is from 9:59 when momentum and bias were lost in chart 4. I mean, it's been bias and momentum short the whole time on chart 4, and then of course you've had a couple areas where it was questionable on chart 2, but that's the real answer. If you want the real answer is, regardless of how I traded, like what was the right answer based on this alpha candle? And then I did catch some fades in between, but on a small account or someone that's just learning to trade and looking to protect their capital, you want to take the highest probability trades. The highest probability trades is when the market reveals its hand, you continue to take those trades and you don't risk fade trades. You don't take risky trades. So half of my trades today were risky because they were trying to touch tops, or they were trying to catch bottoms. When the market revealed its hand right here in this alpha candle here, when it lost 50% of the opening range. And then when chart 4 rolled over in momentum and bias, the market revealed its hand. So that's what I would implore anybody that's if you're looking to grow your account and learn trading, you gotta trade when the market reveals its hands at first, because you don't have conviction. So you gotta be good for when the market reveals itself. You gotta step on the pedal. You've got to take those risks. So if you find that, and that happens 2 or 3 times a day in our system, 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, when I do the grading, I haven't done those for a while, there's usually 4 to 6 high probability trades in the day. But I would say reliably 2 or 3 times a day, the market reveals its hand. And if you're able to trade throughout the day or the morning, you just need to focus on, when those 2 or 3 times happen, how do I participate in that? Now, if you miss the beginning, you then need to work on how do I participate in the continuation? Or if you are there for the beginning, how do I get better at being in the top 25% of that trade occurring? That's the real right answer to kind of what I'm trying to convey. I do think long is probably a good trade here because of chart 3 is holding the level. We got 19 minutes to that. And then it looks like it's holding the momentum in chart 1. We are in the middle of a range. I don't really like that as far as where we're at in chart 2. Chart 4 got the RDA rejections. And then you have a level down here at 146. So I think, I'd want to be able to scale in down to 146. If I was, trading this is what I'd want to do. On a small account, in some ways, I probably wouldn't trade this until it maybe recaptures momentum and bias here. Just because, see, I'm trading this like a large account because we don't quite know whether or not the fade trade is going to work out to the upside here yet. The right answer for the system as far as chart 1 is to sell here. But it looks like it's going to at least come up and do an M24 check on chart 1. We're going into the afternoon too. Anyways, anybody else have any other feedback? So I appreciate the feedback. You see, I'm not discounting it at all. So I'll definitely keep it in mind. I don't like this trade. I'm gonna probably get out of it here. It's chasing the trade too much. So really, the trade is short if you're using chart 1 as your control. But I think on here, I think the other thing you have to do with a small account is you have to really be good at deciding your no trade zones. Like, your best trade decisions are made on strong levels on chart 4. So where are we at on chart 4? Well, we're in the middle of kind of a range. We have a strong level down here. We have a kind of a weak level above that at 144. And then we have an RDA failure here. So, you know, if you think about the probability, well, it can go to either strong level because you're in the middle of it. There's no clear direction. Your better predictive trade is a level check at the bottom and going long. And then your other predictive trade is a level check at the RDA and going short. But you're also mindful of the amount of times that it's tested it. So you're mindful of that. But it's understanding where you're at as far as, did I miss the best trade? And yeah, we missed the best trade. So you're in a no trade zone. So in a small account, I'd be in a no trade zone right here and not trying to eke out a little bit here, a little bit there, because the advantages aren't stacked on my side. I don't have enough. I'm not at enough reaction areas where I would, you know, you want to think about it in ticks. You know, you have a 20 to 30 tick range there that you don't really want to be wrong in on a small account. So make your decisions where you have a 10 to 15 tick breathing room, but then you're right within those 10 to 15 ticks. That's a good way to look at it on a small account. What's up, buddy? What are you doing? You doing dog things? Yeah. Haven't seen you for a bit. Rex decided to join me and supervise the trading. Now, here's the other thing I would suggest too, is that as you get better at reading the charts and you, like here, you know, it looks like it's going to do a level check down below. So as you get better at reading charts, then you can then do these micro trades where then you're maybe looking to sell up here at the RDA check with an expectation it's going to come down and do a level check here. But you also have to be mindful that it did check a level on chart 1 and it rejected that level. So that might actually be the start of the upside move because this is an alpha candle. So this alpha candle here, this green candle on the 5-minute, we'll just check the open of that candle. So pattern you see often is sometimes that holds up. All right, anybody else have any other feedback? I think I'm gonna jump off for the day, or at least take care of other things and start doing some other stuff and still trade, but I'll be in the trade room here. Volatility has really slowed down. Hit that lunch session.
Hi, Rex. Quick question. Is there any progress or any updates on signals?
Yeah, I'm working towards that. We're working out something here behind the scenes for stuff. So,
Nice.
you know, kind of my treatment has kind of taken a toll on me the last 2 weeks. I'm at the tail end of my treatment now. Today's my last day. So I get 2 weeks off so I can focus on it next week. So yeah, we're still working on it. So it's I need to get something sustainable with the developer. And then I want to get all the alphas together. And also I want to talk about the thing in the coming weeks. I want to talk about forming up a core group of people that want to continue maintaining if I don't happen to be here. I'm not going anywhere soon, so I'm just want to start putting in the pieces ahead of time for people that might be interested. So I'm not planning, and I'm just saying that because I'm not planning on going anywhere soon. I just don't want to wait to, you know, and part of that plays into what I'm doing with the developer and everything else. So I'm just working on a couple.
Great, thank you. Appreciate the update.
Yeah.
It's important. See, the most importantly out of the signals, as far as I'm seeing, and I can feel it, is it will take out the emotional human portion out of the trading. And to me, that's the biggest Achilles heel that I have, is the being emotional while in the trade, before making a trade. Once I can eliminate the emotion, I'm spot on. You know, usually that's what I'm usually having. All green days, I cannot possibly make a mistake. But once I go into the emotional state and start looking at the dollar amount versus concentrating on points being pulled from the market, it's a disaster. So I need to take out the emotions, something to be able to take out the emotions out of trading.
No, that makes sense. I mean, it's a hard thing to do. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So, you know, and yeah, I get it. So, like I said, we're working towards it. I know it's slow going. I just, you know, I've had a few hiccups this last 2 weeks. Just this treatment for me has been just takes me down more than I've ever been taken down with any other treatment. So I'm not used to that. I'm used to being able to just kind of ignore treatment. So it's rare for me. I'm not used to slowing down, put it that way. So I've had to intentionally slow down here over the last couple of weeks.
So a couple of times you already mentioned that you might be taking a vacation. So when are you really going to go and really take a vacation and enjoy it?
Well, I've already been taking some things here and there. The beginning of March, I have something planned, and then I don't know. I might just take a whole 60 days and go live in Florence. That's kind of what I'm thinking for the summer. I might go live in Florence for maybe the summer or about 60 days. So that's kind of what I'm
love it.
thinking. If we can there's Rex. Rex is kind of health. I don't know. We're so I'm that's kind of what I'm sometime probably in June or July. I might be just going to Florence and just living there, find an Airbnb or just find somewhere and just live. I would enjoy that. I just like Florence. I love Florence. I love that area. I'd be happy not even traveling that much and just hanging out in just Florence and just living there. So I've always loved Florence. So that's kind of what I'm planning towards. And I actually have family coming in next. What is it, tomorrow? I think I have family coming in tomorrow. Holy crap.
Cool.
Yeah, I have family coming in tomorrow. Oh, it's already the 9th tomorrow. Holy crap. Yeah, I have family coming in tomorrow. Look at this sell-off, man.
Take them to Italy.
Yeah.
No, Italy, especially summertime, is incredible. Definitely, as far as hanging around Italy, you have to take one of those tours around Italy. Definitely, please, if you have time, see the Capri Island.
Oh, yeah. No, I lived there for a while.
I mean, it's incredible. Oh, yeah. Awesome.
So I was stationed in the military, and then I got out and lived there for a while I ran my record label. So I know Italy really well. And I visited 3 or 4 times, maybe 6 times since then. So a couple of years ago, we took a trip to Rome, a couple other cities, spent 5 days in Venice. So, yeah, I know Italy well. I kind of feel bad that I'm not going somewhere new, because I like to travel. But if I think about what would be my dream way to spend a month, it would be just hanging out in Florence. So I really do like that area. I lived up in the Treviso, Verona area for a while. So I know that area pretty well. Oops. This sell-off is just continuing. It might go to the next level on chart 3, sorry. This is a prime example of.
I'm looking at it daily. We're at 75%. We already took out the 50% of this alpha candle to the left on a daily. So it looks like it wants to set the record today, and it's coming up to M9 check on the daily.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. I see that here. You can see I have that chart up on the right, on the 4 chart setup.
But I'm still short.
Yeah, I would think,
People,
testing that previous open of the previous day might be in play. It just doesn't seem to stop in the momentum. I mean, it's kind of another example of, once again, not trying to be too stupid and trying to fade the market and just trading what the chart tells you. I mean, once again, like I said before, from that alpha candle on chart 1 to then correlating it to chart 4, once the momentum shifted on chart 4, like, if you would have just been dumb and just traded the momentum and bias of chart 4, you'd be on the right side of the market every single time. That is very, very frustrating when I don't just, like you said, taking the human side out of it sometimes is the frustrating part.
but the signals will accomplish that successfully.
Well, the signals,
even like you mentioned previously, that even if you program it to take trades at the strong levels only, strong level to strong level, I mean, that within itself will be working probably.
yeah, the signals are
in
really
a
just
trading situation.
are just telling you, though, that, hey, this zone is coming up, right? So it's like, it's to be ready for it. I mean, you could technically accomplish it by putting alerts in there ahead of time, right? Not on tick charts. Well, no, you could put, I don't think in Tradeovate can you put alerts. I haven't really messed around with the Tradeovate alerts at all. I don't know if anybody else has. I just don't like alerts in general, just because, well, I trade so on looking, in with the charts that, well, that's not true. When I'm not streaming, I'm trading 3 different tickers, and then I'm putting in a position like here, short, and then maybe a long position down here. I mean, literally this, like, for those, I mean, I say this, I'll just share this again. Like if I'm trading, I'm looking for the next short trade that's a high probability if I'm not in the trade. If I'm not sitting there watching the charts, which I'm not a lot, and then I'll put in another position down here at 250. Wait, is that? No, 950, sorry. 950, 17,950. And then unless something major happens on the chart, I'm usually in 1 or 2 other positions on CL or GC, or I'm doing something else. That works very well for me. And then there are times of the day where it does get where I'm focusing on the charts and I'm really super scalping. But then I've become very good at understanding when it's a no trade zone. Okay, let me put my positions in, which would be alerts, and let me just sit back and do nothing. So, I guess me trading like that one day or a couple days probably would be illustrative for people as well, because well, when I'm trading or when I'm streaming, I'm always trying to at least answer questions or not have dead air and not. But if I wouldn't be talking right now if I were just trading, right? I'd have these positions where they're at right now, and I'd be working on getting the indicator out, which is the only thing that's on my agenda today. Well, that, and then also getting the automation for the podcast done so that I can start publishing the podcast episodes that I have ready to go. That's the only 2 things on my agenda right now. Oh, and figure out my crypto exits. I'm going to see what 3 commas has for, I haven't used them for a while, but to see what accounts they have for offboarding. Oh, so they do have Coinbase Advanced. Okay. And Binance US. Oh, they do have Gemini too. BitConnect. Anybody been in the crypto market long enough to remember BitConnect? BitConnect. I guess I can then use trailing stops on Coinbase Advance. Well, I'll be shucker darns. And Binance US. Sweet. I guess I can put trailing stops on my BNB trades now. Huh. $48. Well, I need to get this set up so I can dump my BNBs. Move that to the exchange. Let's look at that chart actually, see what we want to do with this. Let's do some. Okay. Well, we're about to breach that level. Start dumping that. BNB. Ooh, look at this. We want to put a trailing stop probably down at 436. Yeah, right around 454 probably. Okay. All right, I have a fair amount of Solana I want to dump. Let's see where we're at in Solana. Above the 4-day range. Our next upward level is 199. Oh, I could dump all the Doge I bought all the way down here. I'll wait. Okay. That's my next. That's the next thing I want to dump. Dump Ethereum with that. Litecoin. I don't know how I got so much fucking Litecoin. I don't know when I acquired all this Litecoin. I don't know when I bought all this Litecoin. It must have been years ago. LTC USD. All right. 108. You know, the problem is this might just be the trigger for people to just push it up to 150. Okay. Litecoin. XMR. Holy crap. I haven't seen XMR in a Monero. XMR USD. Oh, looks like there's not many exchanges there. I think I'll dump it all at 162, 157, 157, 156.91. I think that's where I'll dump it all. Wow. My basis in Monero is like $63. All right. TRX. I still have a lot of TRX for some odd reason. Holy shnikes, the Mikey. Damn. Okay. I guess I should dump this TRX. Yeah. It's time to dump the TRX. TRX. XRP. All right. Ooh. I think I'll hold my XRP for a while. I think we'll wait till it gets up to 78. All right. What's my next one? Algo. Why do I have Algo? I don't know where I got Algo. Hey, LGO USD. That's the basis. What is that basis at? $132%. About. That's not bad. Stellar. I didn't even know Stellar's still around. XLM USD. Ooh, my basis isn't as good there. Actually, it is. 0.077 something. So 0.077 is my basis. So that would put 7 right there up to here. 83%. BAT. Why do I have BAT? BAT USD. Oh, I remember. I bought a bunch of it back in September and August. Yeah. Let's see what that's up to. I bought it down here. It's up 90%. It's not bad. ZRX and Dash are my last ones I want to look at here. ZRX USD. And the same time, right around the basis on that. 019. 019. $194. It's above the second level. I think we could wait to maybe it gets up to 6, 7. Ah, this fucking pen, dude. What the hell? Okay, right, bitch. 6746 is maybe let's go a little bit below that. Start there. Trailing stops at 49 or so. Okay. Final one I'll look at here is Dash. Same thing, man. Same time. You know, I must have bought these at the same time. Oh no, that's way back there. Huh. That one's not that great. Only up about 40%. All right. I'm going to be dumping a lot of crypto this weekend. So if you're buying, please provide liquidity for me. I'm probably selling out in this run here a little too soon, though. But I'm going to use 3 commas. For those that don't know, 3Com is a great, or I still think it's a great platform. For, and I'll share this in here. Yeah. So I'm going to try something different on these exits. Usually I kind of put, and I think I'm still streaming. Usually I put limit orders in the market and just let them take me out, or just go in there if they don't get hit and just exit. But I'm going to use 3 commas to, I think they can do these position sizes. I don't see why they couldn't. To kind of sell some of my crypto in lots of force using trailing stops. So I'm going to take some off now just because who knows if it's going to pull back this weekend or not, or going to continue up. So I'm going to take some off now on some of these things, and then I'll have the 75% left in these positions I want to exit, and I'm just going to put in trailing stops to give it room enough where what I don't want to miss is that some people just start buying when these highs start getting hit again. And I don't want to miss another 20 to 40% on some of these things, if not 60%. So I'm going to try to see if I can capture some of that with the trailing stops using 3Com. But I'll be completely upfront. I'd be completely happy to get out right now too on crypto. It's kind of a bittersweet thing for me because I've been so into crypto since 2015, 14 or so, really 15 mainly, but to kind of start exiting these positions fully, like BNB, I can't believe that I'm going to dump all my BNB. It's an end of an era for me. Anyway, sorry, I got off trading. None of my positions hit. You know, this is what
So keep one runner.
what's up?
So you don't feel that bad.
Yeah. What did you say though?
I said keep one as a runner.
Oh yeah.
Before you close all of your positions, at least you won't feel that bad.
No, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm using 3Com because I still have a subscription and I figured, that's the thing is like, that's the other thing that I think that was a big learning experience for me is that when you build the skill of trading and then pulling money out, or yeah, just exiting positions and being fine with it and not regretting if it goes up another 60% and then that not deviating. So for a while it was, it's even like that in day trading, but especially swing trading. You get out, then it goes out and make another 20%. So then you try to find, well, how can I now if it happens time and time again, then obviously you should look at your system. But being okay of exiting a trade and just being happy with being satisfied and not comparing yourself to what the market did, being satisfied with your 60% or your 90% or or your 12%, whatever you make, it was a big thing for me too. That's why when I look, it's kind of bittersweet when I look at entering this BNB trade. I mean, been buying BNB since it was $10. So, I don't think I bought BNB above $200. So I pretty much bought most of my BNB below $200. And I didn't buy a lot near 200. I just, early on, I just thought I was trading on Binance. So the bulk of my BNB is probably a $36 to $37 basis, maybe a little bit higher. So, I guess if I didn't have my health situation, I'd be looking at this differently. I'm just looking at it as, and I'm considering just plowing all this back into Bitcoin on the next pullback because handing over Bitcoin to manage is a lot easier than handing over BNB or something else. I know it sounds like I don't want people to get the wrong idea. It sounds like I'm planning for my exit. I'm not. I'm setting a few things up. I guess I don't have to tell you guys this. I've always been kind of upfront about what I do, I guess. I'm just setting myself up for easy management of my financial situation because no one in my family understands crypto. So if I were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, I do have all the explanations and ways that they could access crypto in a very safe place that only they know, or they will be revealed to. But it's still difficult, try to teach a layman if anybody's been in crypto. Okay, well, go to this exchange and log in here and transfer from a cold wallet to this exchange and then sell it here and then have access to these accounts. It's a if you have 15 to 30 different crypto assets, that becomes a lot for someone that has no idea how to dump crypto. I probably got much more than that just because I've dabbled around so much. I bet if I were to start cleaning up MetaMask wallets and everything else, I probably would have a lot more than I probably imagine. I guess the bottom line I would say is get to the point where you feel really great about pulling profits out of the market. And being satisfied with what you make and not what the market did after. And not what you probably could have potentially made. You know, just be satisfied with your own house, your own, what you do. All right, I'm going to call it for today. I just stuck around here just because I was kind of still, I had to wrap things up and I had to look at the crypto trades that I want to start positioning in 3Com. Look for, it probably won't be till Monday that this indicator will be out, because I'm going to give it a day or two for TradingView to knock it out. And then once it is, then I'll announce it on Monday or Tuesday of next week. And one way or another, it'll be in your hands. Either TradingView is going to allow it, or I'll publish it where it's just, they don't review it. The thing is, when you publish something private, they review it. So even they review the public stuff too. So one way or another, it'll be out.
Is there any way to get the script and just copy and paste it in ourselves?
Yeah.
It was published on.
Yeah, no, I could do that. That'd be the last final thing to do. And I could do that ahead of time. I just don't want to have to deal with everybody emailing me or me putting it on the website and then having to, you know, update it and everything else. So that'll be the final thing if it doesn't go through. I'll work within their system and then I'll put it up that way. So what the fuck? How did that happen? All right. Volatility's really slowed down. I mean, you did have a short trade there you could have jumped on chart 4. But, and then maybe there's a bottom here if you're using levels in chart 1, but, and this 60-minute candle is about to close, right? No, it's not. No, it's still got a half hour to go. Yeah, so. All right. Well, everybody have a great weekend. I'll still be around. So if you haven't followed me on, if you're watching on other platforms, definitely join Discord. I'll see everybody on the next stream. I'll get off here on YouTube and TradingView, and I'll stick around on Discord for a few minutes.